Welcome to the weekly crypto report. This week we discuss Schnorr signatures and investigate the possibility of an attack on Bitcoin's mempool. But first, here's a picture of the week. During Federal Reserve Chairman Janet Yellen's congressional testimony on Wednesday, July 12th, a Bitcoin enthusiast held up a sign that read, quote, "Buy Bitcoin," end quote. The clip was broadcast live around the world and immediately went viral, with the young man receiving well over $10,000 worth of the digital gold within hours. Many enthusiasts claim that this event marks a historical and iconic moment in the community, similar to the slaying of the, quote, bear whale, end quote, in 2014. The Federal Reserve declined to comment.
To some people it may not be, but I don't understand that. That's the reason I'm questioning you about it.
So I regard the Federal Reserve as one of the most transparent central banks in the world.
That's a statement. What do you fear about the audit? Give me.
In other news, Andreas Antonopoulos announced that he is writing a new book entitled, quote, Mastering Ethereum, end quote, alongside Gav Wood, co-founder of Ethereum. The book will be published by O'Reilly Media in the first quarter of 2018. The book is open source, meaning you can view and contribute via GitHub. It will be available to read and share for free under a Creative Commons license. Turning now to Switzerland, Falcon Private Bank announced that it received approval from a Swiss regulator to offer Bitcoin products. FINMA, the Swiss Financial Markets Supervisory Authority, gave the bank the green light on managing assets based on the blockchain technology behind Bitcoin and other digital currencies. The Zug region in Switzerland has already been dubbed, quote, Crypto Valley, end quote, and the decision could pave the way for other global regulators to approve Bitcoin products. In Austria, post offices will now facilitate the purchase of Bitcoin. Around 1,800 locations will participate in the trial. Via a partnership with Bitpanda, individuals will be able to exchange their euros for Bitcoin at their local post office. With this deal, Bitpanda hopes to increase its transaction volume to over 200 million euros. This week in South Korea, Bitcoin joined the approved list of technologies that can move payments across international borders. On July 18th, the amended South Korean Foreign Exchange Transactions Act enabled companies to register to legally, quote, provide international money transfer services for small funds, quote, an FSS official stated to media reporters. The amended law will allow new entrants to compete with traditional banks. The worldwide money transfer industry is expected to grow to approximately $600 billion this year, according to research by Infosys. In our top story this week, we discuss Schnorr signatures and their use in mitigating mempool attacks, commonly referred to as spam attacks. A Schnorr signature, named after its inventor Klaus Peter Schnorr, is a set of mathematical rules that link the private key, public key, and signature together. Many cryptographers consider Schnorr the best in the field, as it does not suffer from malleability, is fast to verify, and supports native multi-signature. Many of the top Bitcoin developers have been wanting to integrate Schnorr signatures for years, but only recently has the wish become a reality. Another type of signature scheme, ECDSA, is baked into the Bitcoin protocol, and changing that would require a hard fork. That is where segregated witness comes in, which opens the door for deployed Schnorr via a much safer soft fork. Schnorr signatures are a mechanism that unlocks new potentials and may help solve Bitcoin's scalability issue. Current estimates indicate that storage and bandwidth requirements would be reduced by upwards of 25%. In recent months, the Bitcoin network has suffered from full blocks that has resulted in dramatically increased transaction fees and confirmation time. Many believe this is a result of spam attacks that are contrived attempts to push a political agenda. Some evidence does appear to indicate foul play. Following the release of Bitcoin Core 0.13.1 on October 27th of 2016, which contained signaling SegWit activation via soft fork, the mempool size began to increase dramatically. Others point to network growth and the continued success of cryptocurrency usage as the cause of increase. Regardless of the source, the fact remains that floods in the mempool results in diminished user experience. Schnorr signatures would help combat spam attacks since multiple transactions would all share one signature, thus taking up less space in the block, allowing for more transactions to be included. This is referred to as signature aggregation. In terms of bytes, signatures are often the largest individual part of a transaction, and any attack would be disadvantaged. With Schnorr, the cost to attack the network by deliberate attempts to fill block size would increase due to competition with other newly viable transactions. Schnorr signatures would offer yet another benefit: increased privacy. With signature aggregation, it becomes unclear which inputs paid which outputs, in other words, which person paid which person. In addition, Schnorr allows native multisig where the entire policy is obscured and indistinguishable from a conventional signal pub key. The main challenge is defined by Peter Wheel in his Scaling Bitcoin Melon presentation of Schnorr signatures as the, quote, cancellation problem, end quote. The possibility for a group of users to create a signature valid for the sum of their keys opened the door for an adversarial participant to subtract from the whole another user's key. Fortunately, a solution known as delinearization eliminates this risk. Between increased spam and surveillance resistance, and decreased transaction size, Schnorr offers an exciting potential in the cryptocurrency space. Speaking of scaling, let's listen to the scaling song by Junsith. Follow him on Twitter at Junsith.
I would like to welcome Tony Gallipi and Brian Fabian Crane to the studio today. Hi, I'm Tony Gallipi. Hey, I'm Brian Fabian Crane. They've very kindly decided to join me, and we're going to talk a little bit about Bitcoin scaling. So let's begin. Why aren't there any songs about scaling? And what's on the other side? Scaling's a buzzword and just an illusion, and Blockstream's got nothing to hide. So you've been told and you choose to believe that. Well, you're from RBTC. Someday we'll find it, a scaling solution. In the meantime, just do a hard fork for me. Brian, they can't just do a hard fork, lickety split like that. Who said that wishes would be heard and answered when wished on the morning star? All the stakeholders will fuck up a hard fork. Just look what they've done so far. What's amazing are transactions relaying and increasing difficulty. Someday we'll find it, a scaling solution upon which we all can agree. That sounds really amazing, like something we can all agree on. Kind of like how boobs are awesome. God, Tony, you have like a one-track mind. Honestly, have you been half asleep? Or do you know SegWit? Barry's been loving my name. No, he hasn't. Is that the nice guy that tweets about classic? Yeah, the classic Ethereum chain. I've heard SegWit 2x is shit, so ignore it. But it's too confusing for me. So many choices for scaling solutions. Yeah, there's SegWit, side chains, and lightning. La da dee da da dee da. La da dee da 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 da. I harmonized. We send a percent of Bitcoin, everybody. We send a percent of Bitcoin.
Here are some other headlines from around the industry. Thank you for joining us for our second episode of the Weekly Crypto Report. If you enjoyed the show, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next week. HODL on.